tumenye inyigisho za Kiliziya. Urashaka gusobanukirwa n'amahame ya Kiliziya?
Waba se ugishidikanya ku nyigisho Kiliziya tugezaho?
Tega amatwi ikiganiro tumenye inyigisho za Kiliziya.
Bakunzi ba Radio Maria Rwanda, twongeye kubasuhuza aho muri hirya no hino ku isi, mukaba mukomeje gukurikira ibiganiro bitandukanye bya Radio Maria Rwanda. Tugiye gukurikira ikiganiro tumenye inyigisho za Kiliziya, bitewe nuko muri studio za Radio Maria Rwanda twagize umugisha wo kwakira abapadiri bashya bayoboye gahunda za Radio Maria ku mugabane wa Afrika. Bakaba rero bari mu rugendo nyobokamana hano iwacu mu gihugu cyacu cy'u Rwanda, ariko kandi muri urwo rugendo nyobokamana bakaba bazakora amahugurwa biteganyijwe ko azabera ikibeho ku butaka butagatifu. Uyu munsi rero bakaba bari bwerekezeyo. Muri rusange rero iki kiganiro nibo bagiye kudufasha kugitanga, tukaba twizera ko hirya no hino mwiteguye kugira ngo tubashe kugikurikira. Insanganyamatsiko rero bagiye kutuganirizaho, cyane ko iki kiganiro kigiye gutangwa mu rurimi rw'icyongereza. Insanganyamatsiko tugenekereje mu Kinyarwanda iragira iti Radio Maria, igikoresho cy'ingenzi mwiyogezabutumwa. Reka nsubiremo, Radio Maria, igikoresho cy'ingenzi mwiyogezabutumwa, ni yo nsanganyamatsiko bagiye kutuganirizaho uyu munsi. Ariko bitewe nuko baturuka mu bihugu bivuga ururimi rw'icyongereza, niyo mpamvu iki kiganiro kigiye gutangwa muri urwo rurimi rw'icyongereza. Reka rero tubwire abumva urwo rurimi. Dear listeners of Radio Maria Rwanda, right now we are going to listen to the program tumenye inyigisho za Kiliziya. We are now going to be helped by the new directors of Radio Maria in Africa, who are in Rwanda for the purposes of attending the trainings of 10 days. And the training is going to take place at Kibeho at the Holland from today. The theme of this program is Radio Maria, an important pastoral tool. Let me repeat the theme: Radio Maria, an important pastoral tool. In this program, we invite you because you are going to react by asking questions and giving comments. Let me hand over the floor to the moderator of the program, whose name is Lei Nzelewogo, and is the director of Radio Maria Nigeria. But before giving him a floor, let me also present the participant in the program. There is Fidelis Betungula, the director of Radio Maria Uganda Mbarara, and Dominic Mavula, the director of Radio Maria Tanzania, and Father James Daka, the director of Radio Maria Zambia Lusaka. So welcome in the studio of Radio Maria Rwanda.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning, everyone. Our dear listeners, welcome to this special program, Radio Maria, an important pastoral tool. My name is Father Ray Nzelewogo. I'm the anchor of this program. The structure of this very program will look like this. I'm going to make a very short presentation, and towards the end of that presentation, we have an interactive section where all panelists will contribute, drawing from the presentation or from their own experience. And after that, we're going to open the lines and allow our listeners to make their own contributions and input. By way of introduction, the person who conceived the idea of Radio Maria and its models and actually started it must have been inspired by the urgent call to evangelization and using the electronic media to proclaim Christ in a fast-moving world. We live in an age of information superhighway, when information moves with the speed of lightning. Speaking of digital content, which is enabled by the use of radio, television, and the internet, Pope Benedict, in his 2009 World Communication Day message, said, I ask you to introduce into the culture of this new environment of communication and information technology the values of which you have built your lives. The Pope talks of values, Christian values, ethical values, moral values, religious values. It is the value of the gospel message and the Catholic faith that Radio Maria seeks to propagate. So Radio Maria becomes an important and strategic pastoral tool. The Vatican II document, Inter Mirifica, said that the Church recognizes that if properly utilized, the press, the television, the radio, movies, and all that forms of media can be of great service to mankind, since they greatly contribute to man's entertainment and instruction, as well as to the spread and support of the kingdom of God. Therefore, in line with the spirit of the Second Vatican Council, Radio Maria makes use of effective and good radio programs to create rich catechetical content that are suitable for families. They target families. They create higher quality Catholic programs and content which respect moral law and rich in human and Christian values. In these programs, listeners are brought to share in the life of the Church and learn religious truths. Let us look at the Radio Maria model. Every broadcast house adopts a model, adopts a house style, fit for purpose. So let us look at the unique Radio Maria model. With a clear vision and mission of keying into the Church's mission of evangelization, Radio Maria evolved a model of radio broadcasting that captures the desire of an average Catholic. In his address to Radio Maria Association in October 2015, Pope Francis recalled that since its founding, Radio Maria has aimed to help the Church in the work of evangelization and to do so in its own way that is close to the people's concern and tragedies, with words of comfort and hope, the fruit of the faith and commitment to solidarity. It is a clear and lofty goal pursued with determination and perseverance, which has been able to earn exceptional attention and following. This is about the uniqueness of Radio Maria in each country, wherever it goes. It has its own unique appeal that makes it stand out because of the structure and the model of its programming. So what stands out clearly is the style of bringing the radio to the people by focusing on what matters to them most in their faith and encounter with God. Thus, in spreading the gospel and devotion to the Mother of Jesus and promoting a love for the Church, for prayer, Radio Maria provides an efficient channel for listening to beautiful reflections, for learning how to pray, for discussing the content of faith that builds and expands horizons. Radio broadcasting is about creating good content. Radio Maria focuses on a beautifully crafted and engaging content that speaks to people in the context of their faith and circumstances. Radio Maria model strives to serve the audiences in their spiritual and material needs. There are programs on spirituality, human promotion, welfare, news, information, and social programs. With a model of zero commercial advertisement, the programs are made to move the minds and hearts of listeners to giving and supporting the radio. When someone's spiritual and emotional need is met, nothing stops a generous heart from giving. This style is obviously unique to Radio Maria and has been a success in the different countries that Radio Maria operates. And what will form the basis of our little discussion is this third part of this short presentation. So how can Radio Maria content be more pastorally relevant? I would like to make the last part of this short presentation interactive and getting all of you guys involved Let's look at the contents of Radio Maria programming and see how it can speak to the different pastoral contexts in the different countries it operates. We have different. We come from different backgrounds. We have different political situations, political contexts, and radio is about the people, and we get involved with the people. So how can Radio Maria create a content that can address the pastoral needs of our listeners from our backgrounds? And when we look at this program, the contents of Radio Maria programs like Catholic spirituality and knowledge, human promotion and welfare, news and information, social and entertainment. Before we go, because I have an appendix here, before we go into that, let us just have a brief discussion on how we can use our style of programming, the style of programming of Radio Maria, to reach the pastoral content, how caring for the people, meeting them at their spiritual needs, and not leaving the material needs. Father?
Yes, I'm Father Dominic Mavula from Radio Maria Tanzania. Thank you very much for what you've given us in showing the roadmap of what we are focusing. When we go back to the history of Radio Maria, first and foremost, it has focused, and it is focusing, and it will focus on prayers. Whenever the radio starts, begins with prayers. In the radio, we have live holy masses every day, and that's the first tool and an important relevant of pastoral care, which is unique, found in Radio Maria all over the world, in Africa in a specific way.
So prayer is the first approach.
For sure.
This is Father James Daka, Radio Maria, Zambia, Lusaka. I think the radio, first of all, it's supposed to be grounded. When you talk about pastoral, even in the parishes, you are supposed to be grounded. You are supposed to know your people. And when you are making a program, if you know your people, your program will going to resonate with them. So we need to get feedback from the people.
So knowing
because
sorry to just a little on that. It's knowing the people. So knowing what about the people?
You're supposed to know the culture, the people you're broadcasting to, so that the program that you're going to create will help them. Because sometimes the media can be distant away from its consumers, from its listeners. So here, like, you are creating programs and you disseminate the programs, but the other end, you will find that these programs are not relevant to them.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay. It's about, like you said, I mentioned a part of that.
Yes.
Meeting the people at the points of
their needs. Yes. That's evangelization.
Creating a content that address the circumstances of the people.
Yes,
and
Father.
it's more or less the model of Radio Maria trying to meet the people.
Yes.
So taking the radio to the people.
To the people.
Not the people
tuning
in the radio. But
that's true.
The radio, taking the radio to the people.
Yeah.
And that is the background I spoke yesterday about, the background of the BBC where I trained. The talk of taking the radio to the people. How do you create a content? How do you create a rich content that can meet them? And they will actually look forward to tuning in. They will actually look forward to listening to you because you have something relevant, something important in their lives. Brilliant. Very good. Father.
Thank you. This is Father Fidelis Wetungura, Assistant Director, Radio Maria, Uganda, Mbarara. I think the whole idea of Radio Maria in all its programming and all its activities is bringing the gospel home. By bringing gospel home, and we can ask ourselves, where is this home where Radio Maria is bringing this gospel? This home is in my heart, is in my family, and actually back home, Archbishop usually tells us that where the bishop cannot reach, even where the catechist cannot reach, even where the priest cannot reach, even the leader of a small Christian community, Radio Maria reaches there. I cannot go to a bedroom of a listener or anyone, but I go there through Radio Maria. So this is bringing the gospel home. And this gospel is also in my village. When my village mates listen to Radio Maria, they listen to the different programs, the Radio Maria is bringing the gospel home. At my workplace, so Radio Maria brings the gospel to each and every person where he or she is. And Radio Maria will preach to you where you are, even in your car. So Radio Maria does integral evangelization in all its programs. For example, we talk about church programs, we pray. In prayer, we are forming people. At Mass, we form people. Agricultural programs, education programs, all those programs are aimed at bringing the gospel home, where these programs are going to benefit the people, the listeners, not only spiritually, but integral way of evangelization and embracing the gospel in all its dimensions, whether spiritual, cultural, political, you can mention it. So this is the motto of Radio Maria that we had in the introduction part of this program.
Very good, very good. Yeah, you want to, Father?
Yeah, something very little. I'm Father Solomon Baki. I just want to say that Radio Maria is a very big church. It's not like a small parish. It is a parish that is reaching almost the whole country as long as its frequency goes. Very important for us to know. And the role of the church is to evangelize and catechize. This is one thing, it's another thing we should know. And also in this light, you are making, Radio Maria makes the people to be in tune with their faith constantly, teaching them and helping them to understand what the faith is all about. And it reaches the people with the teachings of the church and helping them to comprehend better and to move from their naivety and be in a state wherein they can be able also to defend their faith and to know what are the stance of the church. And that is why catechism or catechizing the people is almost every week done in the radio station. And also bringing the Holy Mass is being celebrated. And I think it's helping, especially during this period of COVID, where many people, some places have been, there is lockdown. The church has been able to reach the people with the Holy Mass through Radio Maria. And many people appreciated and said, if Radio Maria has not been in existence, maybe we should have lost their faith. So it is very important, and it's a very relevant tool in this present time. And as our main presenter was saying, in a time wherein communication through radio is becoming an instrument of changing the minds of the people and changing the lives of the people, there are many radio stations. But being Radio Maria and with its model, it is very relevant in the pastoral context by making the people to realize what they should live in, bringing moral standards of the church, bringing teachings about the sacrament, and many other things, and also the gospel. I think these are the areas that we should also help people to understand that in tuning into Radio Maria, you are becoming closer to the church. Even in your room, the church is being there.
Very, very good, Father. You brought in a very important aspect to this discussion, and when you made the reference to what happened during the pandemic. It's not yet over. And the radio has never been as important as it has been for the past 1 year. And I can draw from my experience of using radio. I mean, in the past, when we were in the seminary, we were taught, and we were told that if you attend Mass on radio, you have not actually attended mass. You need to actually go to the church, and it's because it's a sacrament. So you can't receive a sacrament by proxy. So you need to be there. But the whole of that theology changed. As the pandemic changed everything, it changed that theology. In my diocese, in Nigeria, you have a very huge Catholic population, and Sunday masses are usually packed full. The cathedral where I work, where the religion is, we have about 5 masses. The cathedral is full. But during the pandemic, the government banned everybody from going to church. There was no masses, and that was when we started. That was like a few months we started the radio, and so we were celebrating mass. We didn't have a mobile studio, so I spoke with the Archbishop, who now came to celebrate mass in the studio. We have some kind of makeshift chapel there, and then we linked the studio to that chapel, and the Archbishop was celebrating mass. We tried it the first day, and we tried to stream that live on Facebook and on our platforms and all that. And at one of the masses, we had about 40-something thousand attending and listening to that mass. And we say, wow, ordinarily, we won't have 45,000 people attending mass on a Sunday. And one of the suburbs near one part of the town, we were getting feedbacks. What actually happens on Sunday when the Archbishop celebrates mass on radio? And she said, Father, what happens? That we all dress as if we are going to mass on that Sunday, and we all gather around the radio, and everybody take your bath, dress very well as if you are going to church. You're not going anywhere. You're sitting in your bedroom, and then we gather around the radio, and the Archbishop, of course, from the radio would say, "The Lord be with you," and we respond, "And also with you," and he said, during the singing, they join in the singing. And what happens along the streets, we have many Catholic families. You will hear a cacophone of responses to mass from different families, like "The Lord be with you," and also with you, and it comes from different families at the same time. And I said, wow, this is the power of radio. This is what radio can achieve, and meeting the pastoral needs of our people at that very point in time. And it filled a very important space, a very important space in your lives. And as they were able to attend mass, they didn't actually lose much spiritual. The only thing, during the communion, the Archbishop would say, so we are not receiving communion. Wherever you are, you can receive communion in the spirit. And they pray as if they are going to receive communion. It was very interesting, the power of radio and what radio can do.
And you see that the radio can reach where priests cannot reach, where the catechists cannot reach. Yes. So that's the power of radio. Many places the priests cannot reach there because they are not motorable. And you will see the radio can reach there. And so it's very powerful that it reaches the people anywhere they are, as long as the frequency reaches there.
Now, thank you, Father. This is Father Fidelis. Another question we should ask ourselves as priests. Before COVID came in, we used to see huge crowds of people congregating in churches. Now with COVID and with the lockdowns everywhere, these people are no longer coming to church. Our churches are closed. Our churches are empty. Now we should ask ourselves, if these people are not coming to the church because of COVID pandemic, where are they now? What do they do on Sundays? Now, that's where Radio Maria comes in. Every morning, they have to tune in their radios to listen to Radio Maria. And then they have to listen to Radio Maria for other programs. So, in all these avenues, in all these programs over the radio, Radio Maria is evangelizing. And so, Radio Maria in our current world, considering the situation we are in now, remains relevant, actually not only to the church, but all humanity, bringing the gospel home to all people of different walks of life.
Yes, Father. To color the topic, I would like to say the theology has not changed, but the theology has been modified according to the need.
Yes.
It is an accident, so we have to react.
The interpretation.
Yes, we have to react according to
Yeah.
to the accident. For instance, baptism, the danger of death, doesn't change the theology of baptism. Conducting a wedding in the sacristy doesn't change the theology of the sacrament of matrimony. So currently what is happening, we are moving in a pastoral perspective on what the world is, in which the world moves us and the demand of the people. That's why we are doing and we are helping this pastoral care to the people as it is happening now. I am moved by what you have listed here on how it is becoming relevant. The Catholic spirituality and knowledge. Most of us Africans have experienced pastoral societies, the nomadics who are taking care of the flocks. And we well know these nomadics, these people who are taking care of the pastors, they are sending their flocks to the pasture, and they well know that these weeds are poisonous and these are good to feed the pastors. Then the pastoralists do not feed poisonous weeds to their beloved pastors.
Talking about content now.
Yes. Now, what I'm trying to focus is the Catholic spirituality and the knowledge delivered through Radio Maria helps the Church in elaborating and expounding what really is Catholicism, and helping the Christians and other listeners of the radio concerning the maybe the negative attacks and whatsoever, which seems to be not well in faith, or it doesn't move well with what God desires from people. Catholics sometimes are attacked in their faith, on the way they practice, on the way they worship, on the way they behave in liturgical activities and whatsoever. So whatever is programmed in Radio Maria concerning proper spirituality and the knowledge of Catholicism helps the pastors and the parishioners and the Christians on knowing well what does it mean in practicing whatever liturgical or spiritual exercise in Catholicism. So this is a very relevant pastoral care to people from Radio Maria.
Thank you very much, Father. Another dimension, another pastoral dimension I would like us to introduce into this discussion is how we can meet the sinner in terms of how the Radio Maria can be used as a vehicle to move. We are all sinners, but to move sinners to conversion. To reach to prisoners. Is there any provision? I'm asking, and I don't know. Is there any provision? How can Radio Maria create an outreach that can take care of prisoners, that can address the pastoral needs of people who have actually fallen in their faith? I don't call them sinners, sort of, but to help someone to come up, someone who has lost faith, someone who has stopped going to church, someone who has stopped receiving the sacrament, someone who has been shaken, in terms of his or her faith in God. How do you bring back this flock to the fold?
I want to answer because I work in the prison, the central prison in my country, and just this Easter I baptized 23 prisoners. And they are very happy. And now I have 42 who are in the class, attending baptism class from the central prison. I'm talking about all type of crimes they've committed. And then on Friday, I celebrate Mass for them. And then on Monday, I have Bible class for them. But now the radio has not been taken to the prison, so that when I'm celebrating Mass in the prison with the prisoners, the people from outside hear the Mass being celebrated in the prison. But the faith is being taught there. Now, the radio, most of the prisoners inside, some of them, they have radios and they listen. And they follow now with my presence there. they follow Radio Maria before they follow other radio stations, maybe Pentecostal. They follow Radio Maria. And then I used to tell them that, how do you see the quality? And they said, Father, most of us that are Catholics, we used to listen, but now we have started listening to Radio Maria. It is really touching us, and we are feeling back as if we are in town and we are part of the church. And I tell them, being here, you are still part of the church. That is why we are bringing the faith to you. But taking the radio itself so that the prisoners can participate and say words, the authorities are a bit skeptical about that, but we are working on that we can bring them part of the radio.
Thank you very much, Father. It's very interesting. It's very amazing to know that this kind of radio can be used creatively as to engage. And we're going to take this contribution from Father, and then we'll open the lines, because I know some of our listeners would like to make one or two contributions to this discussion.
Yeah, just to add something to what Father Solomon has said, especially the prisons. I think, like in my country, I think we haven't done much. Though we know that prisoners, some they have got
which
radios.
country?
Zambia.
Oh, yeah,
This is
right.
Father James Daka. Sorry. We haven't done much, but we have to have masses in these prisons. Yes, we have masses in prisons, but they are not aired. So as we maybe visit these prisons, we also have to air them. Because most of the time, our listeners will be happy to listen to a person they know on radio. That is why as we are making our programs, we are supposed to be inclusive. We are supposed to invite also. We are supposed also to invite different people or different priests. We invite people, maybe the chaplains from the prisons. They present something. As they are listening, the prisoners and other people, as they are listening, they will be happy that their chaplain is on radio. The person they know, he or she is on radio. So even the listenership, it will grow. So most of the time, our listeners will be happy to listen to a voice, the person they know. Oh, that's our parish priest. That's our chaplain. So we are supposed to be inclusive as we are making our programs.
Okay, we now invite our listeners to call into the program and make their contribution. Just one more thing you want to say?
Thank you. This is Father Fidelis from Radio Maria Uganda Mbarara. And as we all know, the apostolate of Radio Maria is to bring people closer to God. We are talking not only about Catholics, but all people. For example, Father has given us his experience with the prisons or prisoners. The prisoners are not only Catholics, but all people find themselves in prisons. And all our listeners must know that the church or no one gains when one of us backslides, because the church loses a member and the Lord loses a servant, the brethren loses a brother or sister, and the community loses the Christian, because that Christian has an influence on the community where he or she belongs. And then, worst of all, the backslider himself, or this person who has fallen, loses his soul. So, all our efforts as Radio Maria, through our programming, we try to bring all people closer to God. For example, in Radio Maria Uganda Mbarara, the radio does not only appeal to the Catholics. The Muslims have invited Radio Maria to visit them. We pray with them. They even donate to the radio. The Anglican community or Anglican families invite us. We go there and pray with them in their families. They also donate. In doing so, they are not doing it out of show, but they are doing it because they are convinced that Radio Maria is really doing a great work in evangelizing to them. Thank you.
Okay, now invite our listeners to join in the program and make their contribution.
So let me start with the comments written on WhatsApp. Here there is someone, he's writing, I personally appreciate the evangelization mission of Radio Maria because it helps us during this pandemic COVID-19 period. Sometimes we are avoid to go to the church, but Radio Maria is always there to share us the gospel of the day. So I'm a Christian from Kapgai Diocese. That is the first comment. Then the second one, Radio Maria Rwanda is an important pastoral tool. We thank the association for this contribution. So thank you for the contribution in this program. Okay, the other question, someone asks, how do workers and volunteers of Radio Maria, are invited to behave to facilitate Radio Maria to become the biggest pastoral tool? Your comment, please.
All right, Father, you've had in your radio station. You have volunteers there, fathers. You have volunteers who work with you. How do you engage them? How do you allow them to make their own input to what you're doing in terms of programming and generating content? Pastoral content, sort of.
Father Dominic Mavula from Radio Maria Tanzania. For us, volunteers and workers of Radio Maria, they are the face of Radio Maria Tanzania. So they are first and foremost, their model and the way of conduct, behavioral attitude, has to represent what Radio Maria means to people. Because when people see them, see what is Radio Maria. Then these volunteers and workers do normally reach people and initiate prayers and conducting prayers with them through the radio. So the way they organizing prayers and whatsoever in liturgical matters and spirituality is when they are also helping in pastoral care for the people. That's in short.
Okay, they are part of this whole team because you're working as a team.
Yes.
So both the directors, the president, and the volunteers, you have one goal.
Yes.
To drive the programs of the radio station. Father.
Father James Daka, Radio Maria Zambia, Lusaka. Volunteers, first of all, we train them because you cannot teach what you don't know. So you train them and you let them know the values of Radio Maria and also the Catholic values. As Father said, they are supposed to represent the radio. And these are the people who come from different parishes. So these are the people who are actually closer to our listeners. They interact with our listeners. As our way of doing it in Zambia, especially when we are airing masses in parishes, using mobile studios, we encourage the volunteers who are at that parish to participate in that airing of the mass. So they supposed to be also a models. They supposed to show that they follow what they teach. And also, we are not supposed to be aloof, to create that space that these are volunteers and maybe these are permanent workers at the radio station. We are supposed to be a team. We are supposed to work together because our goal is to evangelize. Our goal is to make the gospel known to the people. So us, maybe the directors, everyone at the radio station supposed to work together so that that message can be taken out there. So the volunteers, like at our station, they are the majority. They are the majority. They have the numbers. They are the ones who go out most of the time. So these are the people who are supposed to know exactly what we stand for. They are supposed to know our Christian values. They are supposed to know Catholicism.
Okay, they are supposed to. What are we supposed to do for them? How do we support them?
That's why I've started with, we are supposed to train them. Yeah. They are supposed to be trained.
Yeah.
Because we cannot get maybe anyone or just to come and, no, you do this, you do that. No. As Jesus did. He chose his disciples. He did not send them at that time. He was with them, teaching them.
He trained them.
He trained them. After they were trained, they were sent. At the middle of a pastoral, they came back reporting what they have seen.
I know. It's not just training you give them. Father, how do you support them materially? Someone
who
loses his house.
There's also material. Yeah, there's also material support.
It's very important the way we relate with the volunteers.
Yeah.
I have seen a place where volunteers who come, sometimes they stay in the studio and they sleep on the floor, the pier floor. I saw that. I felt so bad. They are human beings and they are sacrificing their time in order just to be part of Radio Maria and to render their service in terms of collaborating and also being part of this mission of evangelizing and bringing the church to the door of the people. I think one thing is we need to be closer to them. We need to understand them. We need to make sure that they are well trained and they understand what they are doing. But despite that, our human relationship matters much. Mm-hmm. The way we care for them, they are not we're not giving them salaries, but it's a voluntary work. So there should be this aspect of respect.
Okay. Is there a little budget to take care of their welfare? Because someone comes to work, stays on an 8-hour shift. He or she has to eat lunch.
Maybe for the Fidelists may tell us on that.
Thank you. You see, when you're talking about material support to the volunteers, we all go back to what is the goal of Radio Maria. And volunteerism is one key pillar of Radio Maria.
Yeah.
I don't come to Radio Maria because I want to gain something, because I want to be paid. Now, for example, if we all have to be paid in Radio Maria, will there be any pastoral progress?
I think we're missing the link. Father, just 1 minute. We're missing the link a bit. I'm not talking of paying them. Because they're volunteers. Volunteers are not paid. I'm not talking of salary for them. But I'm talking of when someone comes to work, stays on an 8-hour shift, he has to eat food.
Of course, humanly speaking, you can't let someone just go without
exactly.
But to cut the story short, it depends on the region and the country on how to manage. So that's different from particular areas.
But there is some kind of idea that these people have to be treated like human beings. That's what I said.
Someone asks another question in Kinyarwanda, but I'm going to translate. I'm going to try to translate. He asks, how does Radio Maria do its mission in a country in which it has the lowest number of Christians? I think the one from Nigeria can react, if possible.
I don't know if we don't have the lowest number of Christians in Nigeria. Unfortunately, we have statistically, we have more Christians than Muslims in Nigeria. It depends. Nigeria is a very big country. It depends on where you live, where you're talking about.
But he needs to know, is it possible for Radio Maria to do its mission in a country with a full of Muslims?
I think. Maybe I take that.
Okay.
Just let me finish. Yeah, it is possible. We have a huge number of Muslims, but statistically, Muslims are not more in number in Nigeria. They are not. They have more Christians. The only thing that demographically, if you go to the north, Muslims are in the majority. If you come to the middle belt and the south, Christians are in the majority. So, but when you put the population together, statistically, Christians are more in number than Muslims. So, but the government, our government, they have their own restrictions on religious radio. That is nothing like religious radio in Nigeria. It's banned. We're trying to wriggle over the whole law, trying to establish Radio Maria, trying to see how we're able to do that. It was a military decree during the military era, and it was actually crafted by the Muslims because they were afraid the Christians could use radio. But the whole of that have changed because there are now Muslim radio stations and there are Christian radio stations that are coming up like ours, and other media houses are coming up. So, and at the moment, there is a percentage. The Nigerian Broadcasting Commission gives you a percentage of religious content you have to broadcast. If you go beyond that, if you flout that, they will take the license off you. So within the ambience of the law, we create pastoral programs, we create good content, good Christian content, and we're not restricted. I mean, I introduced one aspect of broadcasting just last month. In my own part of the state, in the southeast part, is 99.9% Catholics, Christians, and a huge number of Catholics is in the majority. But we have few Muslims who come over to that part of and they are growing in number. I decided to do one thing. I created a program, my station, addressing, it's a program in Hausa. We speak Hebrew. And I created a program because Muslims are majorly from they speak the Hausa language, and I wanted to catch that group of people, and we started this chat show in Hausa language. And to be honest, those that call on that program are 99% Muslims. Call on our radio programs and share the experience, and then so it's a way that you can reach people. So I didn't bother actually creating a program for them in English. I created a program in their language, and they were drawn. The Muslims ring radio stations and make contributions and all that. So, and in that way, we intend to make some impact pastorally to them, and to God willing, win some converts.
Here there is do you want to comment on that? Okay, here there is another comment. This one says Radio Maria is very important for us, particularly in the period of COVID-19. Prayers and other messages of faith help us to be patient in this situation. Personally, I appreciate the evangelization mission of Radio Maria. Here also there is another comment. I appreciate those directors of Radio Maria for this time. Radio Maria made us the good Christians, especially in this period of lockdown where the parishes were closed. But also Radio Maria need a great number of youth who like their programs in order to increase their Christianity across in the modern gospel music and increase a time of sport. Thank you. So here there is a question of curiosity. What do you do to make the young people love Radio Maria?
It goes down to creating good content that addresses the different age brackets. I mean, if you are doing radio, you know that there are some programs you target adults, elderly people. There are programs you target children. You must create programs to target young people. We do that. We have chat shows. We have music programs that address There's a program we created. That program is called Our Youth, Our Future. Our Youth, Our Future. We discuss issues, how the young people can contribute to the mission of the church, how the young people can help create a very a good society. We address issues of drugs, issues of drunkenness, issues of education, apprenticeship, and all that. So we create music talents. There's one running. It's called. We run towards the Christmas. Called Talent Show, where we try to look at young people who are good in music, who have different skills to showcase. So these are programs targeting young people, and they really get into it, and we get people to sponsor and give them prizes for participating and for competing. And in so doing, we have a good young listeners to our programs.
Here there's another comment. Thank you for Radio Maria Rwanda for your gospel songs, which make us feel happy. And we thank you for how you teach us the mission of the church. May God bless you all.
Okay, we're going to wrap up this show. It's been a very wonderful. I want to thank the organizers of this program, Jean-Paul and Radio Maria here in Rwanda. And the facilitators, the panel of discussants, and starting from my right, Father
Solomon Baki from Sierra Leone.
Dominic Mafula from Tanzania.
James Daka from Zambia.
Father Fidelis from Radio Maria Uganda Mbarara.
I am Father Ray Nzerugu from Nigeria, your anchor of this program. It's been wonderful having you, and we hope you enjoyed that program. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much. Wenda kuba batumvise ibyo bavuze mu rurimi rw'icyongereza, bagarutse cyane ku butumwa bwa Radio Maria muri rusange mu gufasha Kiliziya mwiyogeza butumwa. Ariko kandi bagaruka no ku biganiro bitandukanye bya Radio Maria, biganiro hanini byibanda ku buzima bwa Kiliziya, ariko kandi bikanagaruka no mu zindi nzego, zaba inzego zijyanye n'uburezi ndetse n'ubukungu ndetse n'ubuzima n'ibindi biganiro byose biganisha ku mibereho myiza y'abaturage. Bakaba bagarutse kandi ku ruhare rwa Radio Maria by'umwihariko muri iki gihe cya COVID-19 aho Kiliziya zari zikinze, ariko Radio Maria ikaba yaragize uruhare mu guherekeza imbaga y'abakristo ndetse ikanasanga abantu bose aho baherereye cyane cyane mu ngo zabo, yewe n'abarwayi ikabasanga aho baryamye ku buriri. Bagarutse kandi ku bijyanye no gusobanurira abakurikira Radio Maria ibijyanye n'ukwemera kwabo, cyane ko muri iki gihe usanga hari benshi barwanya ukwemera kwa Kiliziya Gatolika, cyangwa se ugasanga hari benshi bagushidikanyaho. Ubwo rero Radio Maria ikaba ifite uruhare runini mu gusobanura ibijyanye n'ukwemera kugira ngo abakristo basobanukirwe neza ukwemera kwabo. Bagarutse kandi ku ruhare rwa Radio Maria mu gukora iyogezabutumwa hirya no hino mu magereza, aho iherekeza imfungwa kandi abo iherekeza bakiyumva muri Kiliziya ndetse bakarushaho guhinduka. Bagarutse kandi ku ruhare rwa Radio Maria mu gufasha abandi banyamadini. Mwumvise ko Radio Maria nko mu gihugu cya Uganda ifasha n'andi madini mwiyogeza butumwa. Muri rusange rero bakaba bagarutse nyine ku buzima bwa Radio Maria, ariko mu gufasha imbaga y'abayikurikira cyane cyane mu gusobanukirwa ibijyanye n'ukwemera ndetse no kubaho mu Kristo nyabwo. Thank you very much, dear panelists. And I wish you to have a good training.
Thank you.
And now you are going to Kibeho.
Thank you.
Okay, have a nice journey. Abo rero bakomereje Ikibeho aho bagiye mu mahugurwa. Reka rero tubifurize kugira amahugurwa meza kandi namwe mukomeze kunogerwa na gahunda za Radio Maria Rwanda. Umunsi mwiza, gendane Manase Manirakiza.
Tumenye inyigisho za Kiliziya. Urashaka gusobanukirwa n'amahame ya Kiliziya?
Waba se ugishidikanya ku nyigisho Kiliziya tugezaho?
Tega amatwi ikiganiro Tumenye inyigisho za Kiliziya.